When I first saw this car, I was just an LA newbie trying to find my path. And it was 1989, and I was working at A&M Records, and this car belonged to A&M's iconic head of A&R, David Anderle. I really could not believe I was going to get to work with David. He was a legend in the music business, having worked with artists such as Chris Christopherson, Rita Coolidge, over his 3-decade career. And somehow, David took a liking to me and became my mentor and ultimately a great friend. He not only shaped my sense of direction in my career, but also in life. He lived life more fully than anyone I've ever known and was a true inspiration. By 1995, I was working at David's side with the likes of Soundgarden and Sheryl Crow, and it was an amazing time and occasionally surreal. One day, David walked into my office and tossed me the keys to his 911 with a huge smile on his face. He laughed at my dumbfounded look and told me that I reminded him of himself as a young man and that it was my time as the caretaker of this Porsche. And it was an amazing moment I'll never forget. This car had changed hands only once before, and in 1970 David acquired it from Paul Rothchild, another legendary producer famous for working with The Doors, Janis Joplin, and Joni Mitchell. Paul bought this car just a month before The Doors began production on their Soft Parade album. At some point in 1970, a mysterious transaction moved the Porsche from Paul's garage to David's while they were both in the midst of producing some of the biggest records in history and shaping the sounds of the late 60s pop culture. After leaving A&M, I went into business with a brilliant tech entrepreneur who also happened to be a Porsche fanatic. Troy Snyder loved the history of the car and relentlessly campaigned me so that he could restore it to its former glory. I finally relented, and that process began in 2005. A few years after completion, Troy and I decided to repay the ultimate gift and surprise David with the keys. I believe the look on his face was nearly equal to the one on mine back in the day. It's wonderful to know that David was able to enjoy the car that he dearly loved and so generously gifted to me before passing away a few years ago. Paul bought this car during the peak of his success. David drove it through 25 incredible years and has been part of my family's life for the past 20. And now our journey together is complete. It's time for someone new to inherit its magic powers.